Hey, what's going on YouTube? Today is August 21st, 2013, and I have the second installment for my Scapegoat Brainwash deck profile, or as I like to call it when I play my videos, Scapegoat Mob Boss deck profile. I had to change it a bit just because of the ban list. Only two cards have changed, actually. I took out the Heavy Storm and Monster Reborn. Sad face. And I put in two threatening roars. So I just came to realize that this video is actually kind of pointless. What do you think, Mimi? Should we do it anyway? She says yeah. We're gonna do it anyway. Alright. So, in case you haven't seen it, we're gonna go over it again and I'll just go into some specifics about it. We'll talk about it. Okay, so basically we're running one Mobius the Frost Monarch. I kind of want it to be at 2 now, seeing as how Bottomless, Solemn are gone. Only problem is I have one, so only one. So that's it. Basically, when Mobius is summoned, I can destroy up to 2 spell or trap cards on the field. Very great card. Next up, we have Raiza. When Raiza, when you normal summon it or tribute summon it successfully, you can target one card in the field, return it to the owner's hand. The same thing with Mobius. They have to be tribute summoned. Next up is Kuraz, the Light Monarch. Kuraz is a little bit different, whether it's normal summoned, special summoned, what have you. It can destroy up to 2 cards on the field. Either you can destroy like one of your own, one of your opponents, destroy 2 of your opponents, or 2 of your own. And in doing so, you'll go ahead, the players whose cards are destroyed, you get to draw cards. So if you do a combination of the two, your opponent draws one, you draw one. If you destroy 2 of yours, you get to draw 2, and if you destroy 2 of your opponents gets to draw 2. But this card cannot attack during the turn that it's summoned. So that's the only downside. I'd like to have 2 of those as well. Next up, we have 2 Caius, the Shadow Monarchs. When this guy is tribute summoned successfully, he allows you to banish any one card on the field. If you banish a monster and it happens to be of the dark attribute, you can inflict 1,000 points of damage to your opponent, so that's a really cool one. Let's say you're trying to go for endgame, you can just banish Caius himself with 1,000 points of damage. Alright, we're going to go back to how we'll get these guys out later on in the video, so I'll put them off to the side. Next up, we're running 2 DD Warrior Ladies. I should really just change this to DD Assailant, but I'll do that later. Basically, after this card battles a monster, either your opponent attacks it or you attack a monster with itself, DD Warrior Lady can banish both itself and the opposing monster, so that's a really good card for this deck. This deck is kind of like anti-meta. You're about to see in a second. We're running 3 Penguin Soldier. They got rid of Compulsory. Well, they didn't get rid of Compulse. It's been put at 1. We have Bottomless at 1. Solemn's gone. We gotta have something to get rid of really powerful cards, and this is kind of a good way to do it. When Penguin Soldier it's a flip effect monster, which means when it's flipped face up, it can return up to 2 monster cards on the field to the owner's hand. So that's a really good way to control the battlefield. It works really well in this Scapegoat deck. Next up, we're running 3 Exiled Force. Exiled Force is a monster card. It eats up your normal summon. However, you can just go ahead and send it straight to the graveyard to destroy a monster card on the field. Like I said, we no longer have Solemn. Bottomless is at 1. We need to be able to get rid of stuff, so this will help out with that. We do have Void Trapple. I've been keeping an eye on cards that I've been looking at. I've been doing some research on the cards people are buying. I've gone to eBay. I've gone to a whole bunch of like Troll and Toad websites like that, and just to see what kind of stuff people are buying. And a lot of people are buying Void Trapple, which if an effect monster is special summoned with 2,000 or more, its effect is negated and you can destroy it. So that's really good against stuff like Stardust, Black Rose, all that kind of good stuff. But so it's a good replacement, but at the same time, Bottomless worked on flip summons, special summons, normal summons. It could get more than one monster. It was just really nice, and it's really sad that it's gone. Anyway, let's move to the magic cards. We have one dark hole. Basically, you play this card. Thank God they didn't hit this. We need it. You play it. It destroys all monster cards on the field. Next up, we have My Body as a shield. If one or more of your monsters would be destroyed by a card effect, use this card. It's a quick play, so you can use it like a trap. Pay 1,500 life points, negate the effect of the card, and destroy it. Next up, we have Book of Moon. Book of Moon is a quick play, so it also works like a trap. Basically, you can flip an opponent's monster into face-down defense position, and this is really good for climbing over a monster with really high attack. It's also very good for against stuff like Fristia, Thunder King, which is now at 1, so good. Fuck that card. It's just a really great card to go ahead and negate effects, while at the same time just being able to beat down really powerful monsters. Next up, we have 2 Soul Takers. Soul Taker is a card that can destroy a monster card in your opponent. A face-up monster. Is it a face-up monster? Destroy one face-up monster your opponent controls, then your opponent gains 1,000 life points. This deck does not use Solemn or Solemn Warning, just mostly because I don't have any extra ones. I only have 2, so it's just a really great. So I don't need the 1,000 life points, or I'm not really worried about giving my opponent 1,000 life points, just because I'm not summoning anything too threatening in this deck. This deck is mainly just to take control of my opponent's monsters. We're getting to that right now. The first step, Konami was very nice and gave us 3 scapegoats. The reason they gave us 3 scapegoats, not that they're saying, it's because they're trying to give the Mecha Phantom Beast a lot of support. This is just an easy way to give them support. They pretty much all the Mecha Phantom Beast cards, they use tokens. It's very token heavy, and this is gonna make Dracosac one bitch of a card. And unfortunately, they put Compulse at 1. I'm going to be doing a separate video about how that really is going to affect us, especially when it comes to Dracosac. People seem to think that it's like dead now, and it's not. It's really easy to summon with the Harpies, and I'm sure there are a few other decks that can do it. Gaga Gods could do it. Anyway, like if I ever got my hands on some Dracosacs, I just might do it with the Gaga deck. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, Scapegoat is a magic card. It's a quick play, so it's activated like a trap. It allows you to special summon 4 goat tokens, level 1, 0 attack, 0 defense. These goat tokens, they cannot be used for a tribute summon, but they can be used for things like synchros. They can be used for other kinds of tributes. And they're summoned in defense mode, but you can go ahead and change them in attack mode, and that will come into play in a second when I go to the trap cards. This is why that's important. But other than that, they're really just used to block attacks, at least way back in the day. There was the GOAT format where people would use Metamorphosis with these and get out 1,000 Eye Restrict, but we don't have to worry about that right now. So this is the main focus of the deck, the 3 goats. Why? Konami was nice enough to give us 3 goats, but at the same time, they didn't think to limit or ban stuff like Creature Swap. Creature Swap is a spell card. When you activate it, it's a spell card that when activated, I choose a monster card from my field, like one of my goat tokens. And then you choose a monster on your field, just whatever monster it may be. And now we switch control of those monsters, and I have your monster permanently while you have a goat. And you're thinking, what if the opponent has more than one monster? How are you going to ensure that you get the monster that you need? That's what the Penguin Soldiers are in there for. That's what Exiled Force is in there for. It's to make sure that I get the monsters that I want. When activated, Scapegoat doesn't allow you to summon any of the monsters. That's why you should just do it during the end of your opponent's turn. But we don't just have Creature Swap. That's not the only way we can take control of our opponent's monsters. We also have Enemy Controller. Enemy Controller is a quick play, so it works like a trap. It has two effects. One, you can change the battle position of a face-up monster your opponent controls. The second, you can contribute one of your monsters, i.e. a goat token, and then take control of one of your opponent's monsters until the end of the turn. So maybe I'll take over my opponent's Draco Sact or Christia, well, maybe not Christia, whatever they have out in the field at the time. I'm going to take it over. And then, come to the end of my turn, like I go into main phase 2, I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice it for one of my Monarchs, whatever I took for them. Because I might as well. Enemy controlling only lasts one turn, so I might as well take their monster, do what I can with it, and then sacrifice it, and leave them with nothing. Next up, we are running 3 Mystical Space Typhoons. You gotta have it now. You gotta have it. Basically, it's a quick play, works like a trap, and it destroys one spell or trap card on the field. Pretty simple, but really powerful. Alright, now let's move into the trap cards. We have 2 cards of sacrifice. Cards of sacrifice works like this. Take all the attack position monsters you have on your field. Minimum 2. And if their total attack points are less than the attack points of the strongest monster on your opponent's side of the field, you get to draw 2 cards. The only downside is those monsters can't attack that turn, can't summon or change battle position. You cannot summon or change battle position the turn you activate that effect. Okay, that's fine. Activate Scapegoat. End of my opponent's turn. Get 4 goat tokens. Sorry. My turn. Switch goat tokens to attack mode. Activate cards of sacrifice. Draw 2 cards. Now play creature swap or enemy controller. I'll take one of your monsters. So what? I can't summon a monster. Doesn't matter. I'm going to take one of yours. End of story. Next up we have 2 Threatening Roars. Basically you activate it. Your opponent can't conduct their battle phase that turn. Simple enough. It's chainable. We got 3 Woboku. Woboku's an excellent card. This card, when activated, you take no battle damage during the entire turn, and your monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. Excellent card. It's chainable, and it's just really good for this deck. Lastly, to round up this deck, we are running 3 Magic Cylinders. Summon as many powerful monsters you want. You want to attack my goats? That's fine. I'll just use Magic Cylinder. I'm going to negate your attack, reflect it right back at you as a direct attack. Draco Sact can't stop that. Christia can't stop that. Maybe the that counter trap that works with the the fairy field spell. I can't remember what those cards' names are for the life of me. But yeah, the Magic Cylinder. You can just deal some damage. It's an easy way to deal some damage. Maybe you're stealing their monsters, but you're not getting able to do anything with them. Well, YouTube, that was my Scapegoat Brainwash deck profile. The second, like I said, nothing really changed. I just took out Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, and I put in 2 Threatening Roars. Other than that, it's that's the deck. I'm gonna have a lot of fun running this. Konami thinks that they have screwed us. They kind of did. But they gave us 3 goats, and they left us 3 creature swaps, 3 enemy controllers. So, sorry. I'm going to make as much use of them as I can. We'll be getting a new ban list in December on the 31st. We'll have to see what they do then. Maybe they'll put goats back at 1. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. I hope you all liked this vid. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want. And good luck in this new format. And yeah, that's about it. Junksynchronhero, signing out. Peace.